For this video, we're going to do a fly that was originated by Dave Whitlock. And for you younger folks who don't know who he was, he passed away 3 years ago. He was a very well-known fly fishing author, and he was also a very gifted artist illustrator and contributed a lot to fly fishing. But the fly we're going to do today is one of his panfish flies, and it is Whit sponge spider. It's just a simple sheet foam fly, and if you stick with me to the end of the video, I'll have more information on my channel. I have more fly tying content, and I also have fly fishing content for trout and bass and some other things that I think you'll enjoy. So thanks for watching. This is the fly we'll be working on in this video. It is Whit's sponge spider. So here's how we make it. Okay, so I already got the foam, and this is done in a couple of colors, and I thought it would be neat to I did just a thin piece of black on a gray. They tie them in all black, they tie them in tan, they tie them in a bunch of different colors. So the way I am approaching it might not be exactly the way that Dave Whitlock tied it, but it's the same basic idea. So I cut out a piece of foam ahead of time, and I got a little tie-in point in the front, and just this basic shape. So here we go. So we got a terrestrial hook number 10, and just gonna run a tight layer of thread all the way down to the back. And trim that. I've got some scrap flash, and this one is pearl, so it's the perfect color. So I'm just going to tie that in. That tied down, and make a tight thread wrap coming up, trim it off, and thread wrap all the way to the front. And cover that thread with that pearl flashaboo. Spring wraps of that. This is a good use for your scrap flashaboo. That all the way up to the front. Okay. And we'll just tie that off and trim it. To make this more durable, I'm just going to run just a little UV cure on it. Okay. So there's that. Now we'll put the foam in. Just going to trim that. Okay, now this is going to all seem weird, but at this point I'm going to whip finish it. Trim the thread. And I'll glue it up. So keep this guy from twisting while I tie it. I'm going to add a bit of UV. Get that all in good. So we got to have a head section, and I got to leave it big enough that I can glue my eyes onto. So I'm going to start my thread on that section. And we're going to put our legs on. And I'm going to do the other side. And then I'm just going to whip finish that. And come back here, do the back section. The same thing, I'm just going to lasso it. And we'll get our back legs in. And this one I'm going to whip finish by hand. Pull out a bunch of thread. And I'm getting a phone call. So just ignore that ringing watch thing. And the folks at Apple. Okay, so there's that one. And just going to UV cure those. Like I said, it's probably not exactly the way Mr. Whitlock made it. So then the last step is, if you like googly eyes, this fly is your thing. We're just going to put little doll eyes on, and I use my same cement that I use for making arrows. And just put a little doll eye on each side. And these cheap little doll eyes are kind of interesting because they're really inexpensive. And they also add another dimension to the fly. They rattle. So the fly is going to rattle a little bit. And get that on there. And if need be, you can come back in and fill in a little glue, but that's it. Pretty easy. Fun fly.